niggas want me off the scene, so they can call themselves the king. But it can only happen if I let it. And they ain't never gave me my credit. And it's the motherfucking thanks I get for what? For kicking the doors down with this gangster shit. I'm from the Black Haven zone. I didn't put on for my city, I put my city on. Guess who's back? The nigga that they wanted out. It's time to tell them what this Memphis shit is all about. And I really don't give a fuck if you like it or not. Niggas trying to rewrite history with an evil plot. Yeah, erase my name from the rap game. I never make it to the Memphis Music Hall of Fame. Why? These people hate me in the city, and even the niggas I help put on ain't even fucking with me. But you ain't got to, my nigga, cause I fuck with myself. And I'ma stay true to the game until my last breath. Yeah. Too bad you couldn't do the same. Forgot about your friends and sold your soul for the fame. Damn, them niggas crossed the whole crew out. And if you would've signed with them, they would've crossed you out. You run into them in the streets, then they speechless. The more you help niggas, they take your kindness for weakness. These niggas want me off the scene, so they can call themselves the king. But it can only happen if I let it. And they ain't never gave me my credit. And it's the motherfucking thanks I get for what? For kicking the doors down with this gangster shit. I'm from the Black Haven zone. I didn't put on for my city, I put my city on. I put my city on the map and got no thanks for that. And I don't need a gangster grill, nigga, I'm Gangsta Pat. The first rapper from Memphis out the Black Haven zone. The one that built the foundation these niggas standing on. Yeah, it turned the whole city against me. It dropped shit on my name throughout the industry. But I stayed strong through the rain and the pain. They really tried their best to kick me out the game. But I'm still here, and I'm still revving that gangsta shit. I'm still keeping that knot in my lap, and I'm ready to bang a bitch. Yeah, cause you fuck niggas be with the shit. And if you don't remind these niggas, then they'll forget who I am and what I did for the city. No matter how much I do, they still treat me shitty. So I just keep my head up and stay about my grind. I never let you fuck niggas stop me from getting mine. These niggas want me off the scene, so they can call themselves the king. But it can only happen if I let it. And they ain't never gave me my credit. And it's the motherfucking thanks I get for what? For kicking the doors down with this gangster shit. I'm from the Black Haven zone. I didn't put on for my city, I put my city on. I guess it's time to start all over from square one. I'ma hit this shit one more again and then I'm done. I'ma always put my grind way before my shine. These niggas ain't fucking with me, I was before my time. I was 16 when I hit the scene, a little dusty ass nigga chasing big dreams. And I fucked around and hit a lick, but I didn't know the game came with so much bullshit. It brought so many fake hoes and fake friends, and then they pull disappearing acts when the shit ends. Yeah, I helped a lot of niggas in this game, and when they do their interviews, they never say my name. You know how long I carried this shit? Now I done got it off my chest, I can bury this shit. Yeah. There's only one thing left for me to say. I'ma rep this Memphis shit until they put me in my grave.
Go.
Oh yes, bitches. Yeah, you haven't heard that voice in a while, man. It's Gangsta Pat, the #1 suspect. And we actually have him on the phone here on Nothing Sacred.
Yeah, it's the Nothing Sacred interview. I'm Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And thanks to Gangsta Pat for being here. That was City on the Map, by the way. I guess it's a newer track from you, Pat?
Yeah, it's off the Live from Black Haven, which was an EP that I released last year. And, it did pretty well, man. It was strictly for the streets, None of the songs hit radio, but it was just an underground record. It did pretty good, man.
Well, it tells a real story, which is funny because, man, you're a rare case because you didn't see everybody in Compton hating on Eazy-E or any of those guys or anybody from Oakland hating on Too Short. But it seems like, dude, you get so much hate from other Memphis rappers, man. What's going on with? Why is that?
Because it's a lot of jealousy here in Memphis. Memphis is a small market. It's like, everybody fighting to get on. There's not really many avenues here to get on. So, when it's tight like that, people feel like they got to step on other people's neck to get up, man. And that's basically what it is, man. I think here rappers just feel like they all competition with each other. They don't really get together and do nothing. It's just all about competition. They feel like they got to be better than the next man to really pop. But like I say all the time, man, you ain't got to put nobody else's candle out for your light to shine. But mentally, they just don't get it, and that's where a lot of that comes from. It ain't like real hate, like they want to do something to you. It's more just, far as on the rap tip, because I be out in the clubs and out in the streets, man. I see these cats every day. Ain't no real animosity there, but then when they get on the mic, then you hear all of it. So it's just really about the music. It ain't really personal like that.
So you think it's more like a posturing, like kind of like showing up themselves because they don't want to look like in front of everyone else. When they're on the when they're rapping or whatever, they're doing that to kind of not give you. It's almost like to give you props or give anybody else props is almost like a sign of weakness or something.
Exactly. That's all it is, man. It's just everybody. Memphis got this thing about being tough when really, man, they'll pump their nuts up in front of people, but then when you catch them by themselves, it's a whole different story. So, that's pretty much all it is. It ain't nothing that serious, man. Like you got Yo Gotti and Young Dolph beefing right now, but I mean, they could easily, if they really wanted to harm each other, they could easily meet up somewhere and do that. But that ain't what they really want to do. They just use that as a tactic to sell records, and they both want to be known as the king of Memphis. So it's just that competition thing. But it stays within the music because Memphis is not a big city. So if these cats really want to hurt each other, it wouldn't be no problem, man.
I saw Hustle and Flow, man. And would you say that's an accurate depiction of how things are in Memphis?
Hell no, man. Hell, that's
really?
what Hustle and Flow is Craig Brewer's vision of what he think is going on as far as a pimp in Memphis trying to be a rapper. And it's not that. Craig Brewer ain't really never hung out in the streets of Memphis, and he damn so don't know no real gangsters and pimps in Memphis. All he knows is rappers that want to be gangsters and pimps. So that was his vision of it, just something he thought would be, cool. And John Singleton kind of used that for a quick come up. John Singleton used one thing to pay for other shit. So, it really, to me, was a bad look for Memphis because I know a lot of real pimps and real rappers in the streets, and they don't live nothing like that, man. So I really didn't support Hustle and Flow, although they paid me for 2 songs, and they took them out of the movie at the last minute, but I still got paid for it. But now, after seeing the movie, I'm glad they didn't use my music in it because to me it was a disgrace, man. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little. Was it like a Hollywood?
It was just a free check to me. Yeah.
Like a kind of
kind of like how it was, kind of like when the Crips, when the movie Colors came out.
Colors. I was just
when they were like,
that.
Trying to tell the story of the Crips and the Blood, which it was totally different from that, man. So.
Yeah.
I don't support Hustle and Flow at all. But I do support the soundtrack because my father and his band, the Bo Keys, they scored a lot of that. They did the score for the movie. So I support the music in the movie. And a lot of the rappers that had songs in it was, I'm cool with them. But as far as the screenplay itself, nah, I don't really support that, man.
You know what's interesting? Yeah, because you mentioned your dad, who was actually Willie Hall, who played drums for a lot of guys like Isaac Hayes and stuff. So, what does he think of your music? Because I know sometimes old school music cats tend to be big purists, man, and they try to think rap is music.
Yeah, I think he likes it, man. He listens to it, but I think he'd rather for me to have took a different path other than the gangster music because, I mean, being a father, man, I'm his child, so of course he don't want to see me in the midst of, all that violence and stuff like that. So that I can understand, but as far as the production and, and all that, he likes it, man. He give me thumbs up on it, man. So,
well, I've noticed. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say he likes it, but he don't like it. He likes the music, but he don't like the content and the direction.
Subject matter, yeah.
Put it like that.
He can understand the craft of it, but doesn't agree with the message or the principle behind it or whatever. Yeah, what it's saying.
And that's just being a father. Because if I had a son and he wanted to get out there and go for that, I would probably talk against it either. I probably wouldn't be with it either. It's just like I'm sure Luke Skywalker wouldn't want his daughter on stage doing what his dancers did. That sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, that's probably right.
Well, you know,
yeah.
I saw the documentary you made, man, biography of a gangster rapper, and
Yeah.
you know, you were talking about that your dad had kind of just walked out, but obviously you still had involvement with him. It sounds like, you know.
Yeah. We always had a relationship, a verbal relationship, because after he left my mother, he started traveling the country. You know, it was actually traveling the world because he was traveling in and out of the country. So, you know, but he always wrote, we always talked. You know, he was kind of there mentally and verbally, but he wasn't there physically.
Okay.
And, you know, I faced a lot of stuff that I felt like I wouldn't have faced had he been there physically. But, you know, I've always I never disrespect him, man. I never try to make him feel like I fought him for that, but I have to, if I'm going to tell my story, I have to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
we good, man. That's like my best friend. I can talk to him about anything, and if I need any help, he still supports me 100. So we good.
So he couldn't necessarily show you how to put a rubber on, so he'd have to like send you
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have picture phones back then, so he kind of had to write the instructions down on a postcard or something.
Here's how to put a condom on.
I was actually I was actually able to catch the beginning of that too, and you mentioned about the first part of it. Now the intro, you mentioned about being one of the actually first from Memphis in that way. Like, when did you actually put out your first? I think I remember you talking about him way back in like at like early '90s, wasn't it, Max?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, when we were roommates, I used to play his shit, man.
Yeah. But I know like when did you first get was it like mid '90s, late '90s? That about that time, or was it early '90s?
Early '90s, man.
Yeah.
'91 is when I first heard.
Is that what is that, Incarcerated come back from then, or is that
Yep, that's off Number One Suspect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's off number. Was that your first album that you released?
Yeah, that was the first album. That was actually the first rap album out of Memphis to acquire a major record deal, shoot a real music video. So I'm not gonna say I was the first rapper in Memphis. Period. There were other guys doing it, but they were trying to sound like New York. You know, they were on the real hip hop tip. I was the first one to do it. You know, in the gangster direction, which I was influenced by NWA, Ice-T, and all the others. It's like the South connected more with the West Coast than they did the East Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it definitely seems that way. The lyrical, like the way the lyrics are the flow, and even the beats are a little bit more West Coast influence, in my opinion. At least from
definitely. We looked up to a lot of West Coast because New York rappers, they kind of had their nose up in the air when they came to town. But the West Coast rappers, they were always cool. Like, I used to get backstage at the NWA concert, and, you know, Eazy-E and Ice Cube, they would talk to me and, you know, give me pointers and tips and stuff like that. So it's like we connected with the West Coast, and that's where most of our influence come from. But as far as gangster rap in Memphis, I was the first one to have a success. Well, actually, the first gangster rap album and the first one to acquire a deal and have some success. In which, after that, I pulled A-Ball and MJG in the game, you know, and helped them, you know, get their sound together and stuff like that, and taught them cats how to write 16 ball. They didn't even know how to structure a verse. So we got them, you know what I'm saying? So I taught them a lot, man.
Yeah, you know that, man. So you definitely know how to structure a verse.
Shitty,
about that.
I heard they came back and after you left, though, they dissed you.
Yeah, they did, and you know, we talked about that, and that was more of the CEO of the label that time. You know, he was just trying to, you know, pit them against me. And they were young and hungry, and I don't fault them for that because they were just looking for an opportunity. They were hell. If he'd have told them to lick dirt, they probably would have done it back then because they wanted to get a break. You know, so you know, sometimes people do stupid shit, man, when they're in the midst of trying to come up. So I don't hold it against them personally, man, but. You know, we had it out about that, and I dissed them back, so, you know, we squashed that, man, so.
Oh, yeah, it's old shit. You look back. I'm sorry, go ahead, Max.
I was going to say, that's that line about, I'm not gonna deal with some guy who names himself after something on a pool table or something like that.
yeah. About that face to your face, yeah. Which we gave him that name. It started out as a joke because the name of that group was called DOA, Dead on Arrival. I don't know why they called themselves Dead on Arrival. You know
That's probably not a good.
But they used to wear all black, And I was like, well, shit, man, since you got all black, you might well paint an 8 on his stomach and call him 8 Ball. You know, because he looked like a big old ball.
He's a
and it just
guy.
stuck. And people started calling him 8 Ball, you know, and it just stuck, man. And MJG just used his initials of his name, and that's how they got 8 Ball and MJG, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
You know.
Well, you know, here's an interesting thing. You almost got signed to Ruthless, man. What happened? How did that not go down?
Man, we went out to L.A. and went up to Easy and them office and stuff, which they were on the road at the time, so I didn't get a chance to talk directly with them then, but we left our contact information and our music, and you know what I'm saying? He was calling back, man, and we had a few conversations. Well, actually, the guy who was managing me at the time had a few conversations with him, and we were supposed to fly back out to L.A., but Joy Boy, another independent label, you know, they came to the table, and we just felt like they wanted to sign us. You know what I'm saying? They were more eager to work with us, which Easyman was busy at the time, man. He didn't really have a lot of time at that particular moment. So where Bone Thugs and Harmony was, that probably could have been me. Because if you listen to their music, he kind of took a little bit of what we was doing. Because if you listen to that Faces of Death, that album don't sound nothing like the stuff they came out with, the Thuggish Ruggish Bone and all that. So I know he probably played a lot of our stuff and a lot of other people's stuff. And it kind of influenced them a little bit, and they kind of ran with it because they from Ohio. The word "man" got to make that money, man. That's Memphis slang, man. Ohio cats don't never talk like that. So I know that he was probably letting them hear our stuff, man. But it's cool though. You know, it's all in the name of the game, man. I understand the game more so now than I ever did, and I wasn't ever mad at Easy for that. But yeah, we could have been on. We probably should have been on Ruthless, but they were on the road at the time, and Joy Boy had a better offer, we felt like, and they had the distribution through Atlantic already through some other groups, so we felt like that'll probably be a better deal. So we just went with that, man.
Wow. Well, you know, as a perfect lead into our second song of the night, which would be Incarcerate. What's that album from again? That's the first album.
Number One Suspect.
Yeah, number one Suspect. This is where it all began. That album, and God, I wish people would listen to more. We can get into that later. I always comes back to this, how like music nowadays. But anyways, here's Incarcerated. Gangsta Pat. We'll be back in a few minutes on the Nothing Sacred interview.
Yeah.
I'm on the third floor, whooping niggas' ass for nothing. A sucker tried me. He must have thought I was buffing, but see, he just walked in and he was new on my block. I clowned on his ass with a soap and a sock. He was laying in my cell half dead. I just laughed, cause that's another nigga sent to the med. And that's 3 more years added on my time. But see, I don't give a fuck, cause this is home, this is where I'm gonna be in the next damn century. Staring at niggas in the shitty penitentiary, walking on concrete floors, having a bitch that's got a dick bigger than yours. It doesn't make me a fag, cause I'm getting my dick sucked. The fag is a nigga bending over to get fucked by another horny brother. But it's been stated that this is the life of a nigga that's incarcerated. Ass, weak ass, boy. Come here, pull your feet up, boy. Let me see what side you at, cause you gotta check them in, boy. Yeah. You got a motherfucking hip, not this weak ass God, boy. You gotta check it in. What's wrong with that nigga, dog? Oh, I'm finna shake this motherfucker. Hey, boy, I want your lunch tomorrow. This block, motherfucker, this iron block. I've been eating the same shit for days. I'm taking niggas on to slapping them with the damn trays. I'm busting niggas' heads and threads, hitting them hard as shit. Walking back from lunch, spraying on guards and shit, and getting sent to the hole, thinking that I never get out this place. So motherfuck parole. I just walk to my cell with my head up, taking orders from a trick ass warden. I'm getting fed up, living in this motherfucking underground, ramming niggas into the walls and making thunder sound, whooping ass to survive and stay alive, popping on niggas who think they back cause they bigger, but I'm strong. You see, I never let them break me. I have to be dead for a motherfucker to rape me. But if they try, it'll be a murder that's fag related. But this shit happens to a nigga that's incarcerated. Hey man, you gotta visit with some bitch out there. Man, that motherfucking mag ass hoe, man, coming late. She's supposed to have my motherfucking shit, dog. I got you when she comes. The bitch gon' have to check it in, man. Fuck ass boy, look at that weak ass. Come here, God, you sissy motherfucker. Yeah, boy. Got to bring my motherfucker. commissary every day. It's a lot of shit I'm meeting up, and punks I'm beating up. Whooping motherfuckers over dumb shit, see? I roll with a posse and we take songs of shit. Cold running the floors. We'll take your money, your cigarette, clothes, and visitation hoes. See, the guards can't fuck with us, and a warden can't stop it cause he's stuck with us. Back to your cells, they yell, but we say, fuck that shit, in the yard is where we stay. Then everything got quiet, so I hit a guard in the jaw and I started a prison riot. Now I'm getting bucked in the slammer, hitting niggas left and right on the edge like a sledgehammer. See, I never been faded by a gun or a knife, but see, this is the life of a nigga that's incarcerated. What's wrong with these motherfuckers? I ain't did shit but broke a bitch. What? Is it a problem wrong breaking a bitch? What's wrong with that dog breaking a bitch, man? Yeah, they got this matching locked down, but I tell you what, I'm coming out of here cause my whole company. Bitch coming, man. Yeah, all you whole ass niggas. Fighting ass boys, man. Dog, I got us 5 bitches coming. We gonna have all of them in here. Yeah. What's up? That motherfucker, you're fucking with this pivot. Them goddamn square. Whole ass nigga. Yeah, when I get out this ass warden, boy, I'ma ask for you when I'm coming out. When I come out this motherfucker, I'm asking for you, all you hoes. Yeah, when I was on the dog, granddaddy caddy, out of the motherfucking Mid-South, nigga, with the loudest motherfucking clout.
Well, you gotta check them in, boy. Put your feet up here. Welcome back to Nothing Sacred. We got Gangsta Pat, the #1 suspect. The most hated.
Do what it do.
So, I want to actually come in with, because I was thinking about this, while you were talking in our last segment about just how, starting in the early '90s. Maybe it's because I'm turning 40 this year, so that gets you thinking about how different your perspective is on everything than it was back then, and just seeing how things have changed. And what do you think about, like, how? I mean, do you think that just the oversaturation? Because we mentioned Bone Thugs and Harmony, and that's almost like that whole gangster rap gets commercial type thing, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like they tried.
Yeah.
So what do you think about how you saw it happen? You were there from the beginning. So what are your thoughts about it now, looking back, about how much things have changed in that aspect of rap music and just everything in general? Like, what are you thinking about? How do you think about that?
Yeah, I just think that technology has a little bit to do with it, because technology made it easy for anybody to have recording capabilities beyond their wildest dreams. You can do stuff nowadays that you couldn't do back then without having a whole lot of expensive, huge equipment. So
yeah,
so that made it more accessible, and I think that it's oversaturated, man. It's like everybody's doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? So anytime that makes something easy to do, and everybody's getting into it, then of course it's gonna start to get watered down, and you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much. But I understand that everything has to change. Nothing stays the same, man. Nothing, So it has to change. I just hate it changed in that, fashion. I hate it changed for the worse instead of changing for the better. You know what I'm saying? To me, it looked like rap was just going backwards, man. It's like anybody can be a rapper nowadays. And I know there's a difference between rappers and MCs, but it's less MCs and more rappers. And when I say it, because see, all the MC need is a mic and a DJ. That's it. Any real MC can hold that mic and amaze the crowd with just him and the DJ. Mm-hmm. But a rapper got to have butt-naked women, champagne bottles, a Rolls Royce, a Rolex. You know what I'm saying? He got to have all these props to go with him.
Auto-tune.
Yeah, auto-tune, all that kind of stuff.
And filler rap, like taking a word and going, hey, so you can fill up half a bar so you don't have to fucking create any lyrics. Yeah, that's rap.
Exactly.
Actually, the thing I'm wondering about, though, what do you think about everybody trying to duplicate the Southern accent and the Southern sound, man? Do you find it disrespectful, or do you think you find it kind of cool?
In a way, it's kind of cool, because that puts us, all the Southern rappers on a certain level, because it's like the more they duplicate it, the more popular it gets. But at the same time, it starts to get confusing. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, if everybody's doing it, then the kids that are born now won't be able to distinguish who, you know what I'm saying? They probably won't even have no idea where it comes from in the future because people change history, man, on their own. They don't try to stick and get the ones credit that really came up with it. I mean, 20 years from now, you'll have some kid going, oh, I started that. And the new generation won't be able to really argue with them because there probably won't be any history around for them to search through, man, because there's going to be so much by then, you know.
Right. Well,
so
you know,
it's just like,
okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, what I liked back then was, you know, your sounds were unique to your region. So you could tell, oh, that's a Memphis rapper. That's an L.A. rapper.
Yeah.
You know, now you can't do that, you know?
You can't, man. And the sad part about it is to hear Memphis rappers coming out sounding like they from Atlanta. Well, it's like, we got our own sound, man. You know, why you want to do that? But they feel like it's what's happening now, so they feel like they got to roll with it, you know, because it's the thing to do, man. So,
that's.
I mean, and you like it's more, instead of an art, it's more of a hustle. Now they look at it just the same way they look at the dope game, you know. So they just doing it for the money. They don't have no real ambition to woke the people for real with their talent. They just trying to throw them something with a cool beat and, you know, some punchlines and get that money, man. So it's not even art no more. It's just product.
Yeah, but and that's the way it is with all music. But definitely you can see it with that because, man, I mean, like it took you time to figure out. You probably went so many takes going over like all those, because some of the shit you do and some of that shit, the gymnastics. Like in Motivate, you know, what is it? It's like Violate Me, the song where, you know, you can check that out there. Just like this completely like rapid fire. That takes actual effort and time to actually think about that. Instead, you got these people now that say exactly the same thing. Like we do a segment, you know, we do something where we look and listen to music, and man, we hear some stuff, man, it's just they don't even try, and they think that it sounds so great, and if it doesn't, it's our lack of interpretation. But there's a standard, and it doesn't seem like there's a lyrical standard anymore. Like there's no lyrical standard for good shit, because that wouldn't have been accepted back then. It was like that was, you know, what are you trying to say? It seems like no one's trying to say anything anymore.
Yeah, the only rapper that probably would have got away with that back then was probably Too Short, man. You know, because he'll tell you in a minute he wasn't no real lyrical guy, but, you know, he talked about women and he had a lot of bass, so shit, that was good enough. We let him get by with that, but other than that, anybody else would have been labeled whack as fuck, man, you know. But now, people, I think the new generation, these young kids, they didn't grow up in the era where there were too many real MCs around, so they can't really distinguish the difference. You know, all they hear is the beat, and they like to see what kind of jewelry he got on. It's different. It's like, it's more about fashion and props now, more so than it is rap, man.
Yeah,
so they don't have a clue. You know what I'm saying?
And they're entertainers now. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about what's around them instead of what's in them.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like funny. This is kind of a weird analogy, but I kind of analogy with video gamers, all right, like gamers, right? Okay. Yeah. See, when I grew up, if you were like in junior high or high school and you admitted to like playing a lot of like Dungeons and Dragons and video games and shit, right? Like or anything like that, or like with computer games, that kind of stuff, or you were like doing that, you were considered a nerd, kind of like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like you had your own little area where you did your thing and you knew about it, and it was really complex and deep, and the games that came out were just amazingly deep and had a lot of stats and all this shit you had to do on the, you know. And then everything got popular, like you get the Xbox consoles and all these games, so it just gets dumbed down. So now it's like, these games are so amazing. It's like, man, when I was, we had to map shit out with grid paper, you know, like in these, like literally, like map it on, like literally, you're playing a game, you had to map shit out. So it's like the same kind of thing. Like everyone now can be a quote unquote producer if they get there. They can rip a fucking copy of Pro Logic off of a fucking website and then start fucking around and then create some sound and shit and think they actually have skill. When back then, if you even wanted to touch that kind of shit, you had to have years of training and a whole lot of money. So now it's like the double standard, the opposite of having all the saturation, and some stuff, new stuff is okay that's being created, you know, on their own. But you got all this shit and people don't know the difference anymore, like you were saying.
Well,
that's true, man.
You even say in your video that you spent time, you locked yourself in the studio and honed your skills. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we were limited, man. You know, you can go buy software now, man. They give you 3,200 sounds, man. We only had the 808,
drum machine or keyboard with only a few sounds, you know, just the basics, live guitars and your vocals, man. So we had to be creative with it. Because if you think about a band has the same instruments. You can't change the snares in and out or change the bass. You know, you have to play through the whole show with the same set. So they have to be creative enough to take the same shit and twist it around so you won't get bored.
Right.
So you think about musicians, man. You know, they had to make all them songs sounding different, but they're using the same instruments. So kind of it was limited with rap. So you have to sit in there and just, you know, try to make some shit that don't sound like the next song, although you're using the same sounds. When nowadays you can pop in a disc with 3,200 sounds on there, man, at a click of a mouse. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I locked myself up in the studio, man, and I had to, you know, make some shit that I could go from one song to the next and people not say, oh, that sounds just like the last song, you know. So it was more of a challenge back then, man. You know.
I think nowadays in a lot of cases, I think a lot of people, they're like, wow, that sounds just like the last song. Well, that's great. It does, you know. Yeah. But then again, though, and this is where I think it's different now, is that there are a lot of people who are searching for this kind of stuff. So this is why, one of the reasons why Max and I like to do this is because people need to remember that there's an artistry to lyricism, not just to a beat or a bass line. It's not just throwing words over a fucking beat. It's lyricism. It's poetry that's sustained over a beat and goes with the beat. It's just spoken singing, basically. It's gonna, but no one gets that now. So, or not no one gets that, but there are people that do get that, and I think we need to. I think hopefully it was
musical. I mean, you know, you played a lot on your stuff. You played a lot of guitar, especially on the Number One Suspect album. You know, and you had some guitar licks that were just great, you know, and keyboard riffs that were just awesome. You know, where now it's just like, I might hit two keys and that's it, you know.
That's it, man. It's more simple and more complex, man, because, I mean, you got to look at it, man. Society is being dumbed down. So you don't have to try as hard to entertain people as much no more. Because the fluoride in the water and a lot of other shit. I mean, the smarter they make the phones, the dumber we get, man. So I mean, it's just not the same, man. It's just not the same society anymore. This some different shit out here, you know. So
it is, man. I
wish everything gonna change.
I wish I didn't feel that way, but unfortunately, it's the truth. Because, man, I mean, I think a lot of times people put on music to distract them, as a distract or just like background noise, and that's all it is anymore. In a lot of cases, or it's just, you know, it's just thrown at them so much that they don't get a choice to what they like. But I think it's also, and this is kind of bleeding us into our next song too. I think it's also the fact that no one can make a song and just have it be what it is, and like it has to be some kind of, like, if you write a song, like, let's take for instance a kind of segue into what we're gonna be playing in a couple minutes. The what is it? The OJ murder was
OJ murder story.
OJ murder story song.
Yeah.
That is offensive to some people, but who fucking cares? It tells a story, and it's a fictional story, and it's a viewpoint. Yeah. But the point you're trying to make is that, hell, anything could have happened. But that would never make. I mean, that would cause, you would probably be like people would hunt you down, man. They'd probably like call you out, like, oh my god, that's so. Oh, it's so offensive and so terrible, because we have a weak society in that way, where you can't offend people, because saying something that offends people is like hurting somebody physically now, almost like.
Hey, you right. Let me resort back to Too Short one more good, because that's one of my favorite artists in this business. But you remember when he said Nancy Reagan came to my house and gave me a blowjob?
Yes.
You know, he said the president's wife gave him a blow. I mean, for him to get away with that back then, he would, man, if somebody came out with a song and said that about Michelle Obama, man, they be in so much deep shit, man.
Oh, they would be fired from their job. Someone would find out where they work and fire them from their job.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of shit. That's the scary shit. That's the internet and scary shit going on. So you can't do that shit anymore. You can't really press the boundaries, because and just like, oh my god, that's so offensive, or even though it's just like I said, it's a story, it's obviously a fictional account of what's going on, or maybe it isn't. You know, who knows? Whatever. But the point is, you're right. You couldn't say that, and the reason that you could back then is because a person's freedom of speech was more important than offending people, and now it isn't. So it's kind of fucking scary.
Yeah.
You couldn't write a song like that now.
Hey, that Constitution is disappearing slowly, but it's gonna be obsolete in a minute, man. I'm telling you.
I know.
That's what I'm feeling about it. So
really scary. You know.
So why don't we get into that real quick, and then we'll be back for our final segment with Gangsta Pat. This is the OJ murder story, old school. Before we start this, did you get any controversy from this? Did you have a lot of people talking? Like, what happened when people heard about this song when it came out? I assume that was obviously 96 or so, 90.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I never got any backlash or no letters from an organization, about, as far as mentioning, OJ. I never really got none of that, man. Just a lot of people in the streets just thought it was a unique perception of what happened, and they like the beat, but other than that, I never received any backlash.
See, that just amazes me because I'm so geared for people being offended over someone's T-shirt, man. It's that kind of shit today.
Yeah.
So here it is. Let's listen to this. And if you are offended, then you need to check yourself and maybe get some balls or something like that. Grow a pair. Enjoy it for what it is, called artistic expression. This is the OJ murder story. Gangsta Pat will be back on the Nothing Sacred interview in just a few.
Yeah, this psycho in the motherfucking house, sitting here smoking on a fat ass blunt. I know you remember me from the first album, Number One Suspect. Yeah, my shit'll be dropping soon on y'all motherfucking ass. But we're gonna take you on the subject of this OJ case. I know y'all thinking y'all know who did this shit, but y'all get it all wrong. Yo, Gangsta Pat, why don't you let them know what really happened?
I'm on my way out to California. Brentwood is my destination. I'm picking up 2 keys. Gotta make that cheese, ain't no hesitation. Fresh off the highway, gotta get back up to the main intersection. This bust ass nigga done fucked around and gave me wrong directions. I'm lost like a motherfucker. Better get some information quick. I kept on ballin' for a minute, then I spot the bitch. This hoe was so fine, I ain't big titty, she was good to go. A nice little blonde bitch with skin that was white as snow. I said, what's your name, bitch? She said her name was Nicole. I said, where you headed? She said, with you if you let me roll. Shit, hop in, bitch, you ain't saying shit but a word. I made her U-turn so fast, ran my ass on the fucking curb. We got to a crib, I said to myself, this bitch living swell. Fuck them 2 kids, man, I need to hit this bitch, she bail. I lit up a swisher and I looked on the wall and said, oh shit, I know this ain't who I think it is on this picture, bitch. I said, is this OJ? That bitch nodded her head, yes. I hurry up and got up and I kicked that bitch in the fucking chest. Where you know this nigga from? How you get this crib, bitch? The bitch said I'm married to the nigga and he's filthy rich. At that very moment, I knew I had ran up on the thing. I kicked that bitch again and I reached in my drawers and pulled out that thing. Put it up to the bitch head and I said to myself, I'ma get paid at last. Bitch, I'ma kill you if you don't take me straight to your stash. Stay headed upstairs and I had that block to the bitch down right. I could feel that hoe trembling with her body so full of fright. We got to the bitch room and I slammed that hoe down on the floor. I started to rape her, but I heard this strange knock at the door. Now who could this be? Fucking up my stain, they must be served. I told that bitch, shh, be quiet, don't say a fucking word. I fell downstairs and I looked out the window when I seen this trick. He fucking up my stain, so I better get rid of this nigga quick. I opened up the door when I said, come in, let me take your coat. When he turned his head, I stuck him twice and I slit his throat. I dragged his body into this room and I locked the door. I flew back upstairs to get finished scraping on that hoe. When I got back to the room, that bitch had vanished without a trace. I heard some glass breaking, that bitch led me on a chase. I chased that bitch down the stairs to the front door when I beat her down. I stuck on that bitch until her bloody body hit the ground. I slit that bitch throat as well and I bailed from the murder scene. I'm back on the highway ballin', I done made my getaway clean.
Yeah, motherfucker. That goes to show you anybody could've did that shit. But it's all about money in this game. And it's all about murder. Innocent until proven guilty. And I'm out. I'll see you in hell, motherfuckers.
Killer, what the fuck you gon' do? I'ma cock my 9 and a motherfucker. Killer, what the fuck you gon' do? I'ma cock my 9 and a motherfucker. Killer, what the fuck you gon' do? I'ma cock my 9 and a motherfucker. Killer, what the fuck you gon' do? I'ma cock my 9 and a motherfucker. Killer, what the fuck you gon' do? I'm gon' cock my 9 and a motherfucker. Killer, what the fuck you gon' do? I'm gon' cock my 9 and a motherfucker. Killer, what the fuck you gon' do? I'm gon' cock my 9 and a motherfucker. Killer, what the fuck you gon' do? I'm gon' cock my 9 and a motherfucker.
Well, that goes to show you that Gangsta Pat is one bad motherfucker.
I gotta change my mind. I listened to that. That was horrible, and I feel offended. I'm triggered. I'm trigger warning, man. I bought a flashback of when I was 10, and I had a candy bar, and I dropped in the street, and that's how I felt. I feel like that made me feel that was the OJ murder story, and it was terrible. Actually, terribly good. Because it's fucking it's art, like I said before. So once again, this is the Another Second interview. Maxwell Silverhammer,
bitches,
Cruise Control, and we got Gangsta Pat here. What it
do?
What did you call him, Max? The
number one suspect.
The number one suspect. Yes.
Yeah. Here's an interesting question, man. Whatever happened to everybody from the Legion of Doom, like MC Rod, Slice T, Mac 10?
Man, I haven't seen. Well, Mac 10, that's my best friend, man. We still hang together right now today, and he went and did a little jail time, man. Actually, man, I'm glad you brought his name up because, man, you know, Ice Cube stole that name from us and gave it to the other Mac 10.
I know,
because you know we was opening up shows for Ice Cube. It didn't know Mac 10 exist, you know. So all of a sudden, then a few years later, he comes out with a Mac 10, and then he had a nerve to say on the album, "Y'all might well forget about it. I got this name on lock," you know. And so he came to K97 to do a radio interview. We was doing an interview that same night, man. And they was, you know, the guy who was setting everything up came downstairs. We was on our way up. They was already there. So he was telling us, man, y'all need to wait, man, because I know y'all got a little issue going on with the name Mac 10, and you know, he was like, the dude pretty much was like, he didn't know how y'all was gonna be, because he know that they Cube jacked the name, and that you know, Cube known for doing that. That's why Cypress Hill beat him up and took that W chain from him, because you know, he took some stuff from some songs from Cypress Hill. So he talked about Easy, but he ended up doing the same stuff that Easy was doing, that he claimed Easy was doing.
Yeah.
So you know, but we wasn't tripping about that, man, because the other Mac 10 was on the west. We was on the south. Wasn't no big deal, because as long as our people knew that we had that name way back before Mac 10 was even thought of, man. So, you know, but
it's funny, he jacked the name. He jacked.
Well, you know, there's another dude named Mac 10, actually from a group called Totally Insane out of East Palo Alto.
Yeah.
And he actually when that Mac 10 came out, when Mac 10 from Cube's camp came out, he changed his name to $10. So that's what he goes by now. You know, but your dude hung on to the name, man. I appreciate that, man. You know.
Yeah. He hung on to it, man. I mean, I can't say we was the first to ever call somebody Mac 10. I mean, who knows? Great minds think alike. But I know that we didn't get our version from nobody else. It was just something we were sitting in the room coming up with names, and that's what popped up. You know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact Q got that name from us and created an artist behind that. But you know, that's years ago. I don't even know if that other Mac 10 still rapping, man. And my homie, he was never really a rapper anyway. Right. You know, he was a real street dude, so we wasn't tripping about that. He didn't really care about that, man. So, okay, there's two Dr. Dre's. It was Dr. Dre in New York, who was a DJ, and it was Dr. Dre in L.A. So, you know, names come and go. But, you know, we weren't tripping about that. But, yeah.
The only other guy I heard come from the Legion of Doom was MC Rod. Actually dropped an album way back when.
Yeah. He dropped an album, man.
And he's not. I don't hear from him anymore, so I don't know what happened.
Nah, he pretty much he moved to Atlanta and kind of disappeared, man. I bump into him every blue moon, but other than that, I don't really see none of the other guys, Slice T or none of the other guys, or Psycho. I don't see none of them cats, man. I don't know what they doing, but I wish them all well, though, because me and Mac 10 really grew up together. Those other guys, you know, we all met up at the studio. You know, the CEO was just trying to pull people together to create this super group because Rod was a hell of a lyricist, man. I learned a lot from him as far as working drum machines and stuff like that. And Slice T was a hell of a DJ. I learned a lot from him about scratching and stuff like that. But Psycho, he wasn't really no rapper, man. He was just somebody that used to hang around other rappers. And, you know, he started hanging around the studio so much, we just, come on, man. We'll pull you on you. I'll help you write the shit, you know, and all that. So that's pretty much how that went. No, those guys we wasn't never best friends. Like I said, Mac 10 was the only real friend I had in that clique. So once the music kind of went in another direction, and that wasn't, you know, the label kind of shut down, we really had no reason to keep hanging around each other because we never were real friends in the first place. So, you know, that's why everybody went their separate ways.
What about Villain? I know later you had Villain on a bunch of tracks.
Villain was somebody. My cousin was dating his sister, and he was like, "Man, I got this little dude over here, man. You want to rap, man? Come on, holler at him. You know, that's the old family. I'm your cousin. Do this for me, man. You know."
Yeah.
You know, so I went up. Yeah, I went, but actually he had some talent, man. He could, you know, he could sing a little bit. He could pronounce words real fast. But see, the thing about it, when you give people stuff and they don't work for it, they get arrogant quick. He didn't have to earn it; it was given them to him. So he felt like everything should come to him like that. So he got the big head. I took him to Atlanta trying to get him a deal, and you know, the people were like, "Well, okay, man, we're gonna take time and listen to it, and we'll get back with you." But he jumped the gun. He tried to go back down there behind my back and tell the people, "Well, I don't need him, man. I'm better than him, and y'all should holler at me." You know, and them people called me like, "Man, we can't deal with your boy. He up here tripping." I'm like, "Damn, he done shot back up there behind my back," you know. So,
wow,
I had to just stop dealing with him, man. You know. So, but he was trying to do some stuff on his own. I always wished him well, man, but. You know, loyalty is something that's hard to find in Memphis, man. It's hard to find loyal people, man. So, that's why we stopped working together, man. No loyalty, you know what I'm saying? All you had to do was be patient, man, and it would have came for him. But he jumped the gun, you know.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're probably younger too.
Well, you know, another thing I thought was great was you were the first gangster rapper to really write a love song. You know, that was influenced by I Need Love. You know, I thought that was such a great idea of LL because I always pictured him as a, you know, aggressive rapper, and for him to just break it down because you know the ladies love that, man. I wanted to give something that the ladies would like, so you know that was kind of my version of I Need Love, and it was Gangsta Need Love too. So, well, you had a few though. You had Let's Spend the Night on Nothing But a Come Up. And Gangsta Love. Yeah. So I thought it was good because most gangster rappers didn't have the balls. You know, man, fuck bitches. I hate bitches.
Yeah.
You know? Like, man, I'm human. I got feelings. Fuck it. You know?
Yeah, it's just wanting to give something for the ladies because when we used to do shows, man, there used to be a lot of chicks, man. They used to come see gangster rappers, man. And, you know, you get to a certain point to where you don't want to call them bitches and hoes through the whole show. You
gotta give them at least one song.
Let's break it down for the ladies, man. You get them this little one cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, throw them a bone so later on you can give them a bone. No, just joking.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. See, there you go. You got it, man.
Gotta do what you can, right? So hey, what are you up to now, man? Well, so we've been talking about the past and everything, but what are you doing now? You got those 2 songs from last year's EP. That's what's called the Raven again.
Live from Black Haven.
Black Haven. I'm sorry. Black Haven. So, do you have anything else you're doing, or anything you're up to? You got anything going on? What's going on with you in terms of musically?
Yeah, I'm always recording music, man. I grew up in a musical family. My father was a musician. My cousin was a musician. My mother. She sung, you know, here and there. My auntie, my grandmother was a singer. So music was always playing in the house. So that's my passion. You know, I'm happy with just waking up, being able to get on my guitar, my keyboard, and just play melodies. So I'm not trying to do rap as a profession anymore. I just do it because I love it as more of a hobby now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always making music, but I got some stuff I'm going to put together for an album, because I get a lot of emails, man. People still want to hear me write songs and stuff like that and put them out. So if I do it, I'm just going to do it for the fans. I'm not going to, look for anything more than just satisfying the emails that I get. I'm going to probably put it out, shoot a video, throw it on YouTube. I just do it as a hobby now. So I still record every chance I get, you know what I'm saying, every other day or something like that. But I'm just doing it as a hobby, man. I work every day, you know what I'm saying? I'm back to the normal life, man. Honestly, man, I'm kind of glad I didn't blow up big like a Snoop Dogg or, you know what I'm saying, or nothing like that, because I decided that I didn't really want to live that life. All that popularity, I didn't really want. I thought I wanted it,
yeah.
But just dealing with the little bit of stuff I had going on made me realize that's not really what I want in life. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that my father really didn't have to deal with a lot, because he was a drummer. Right. People was more on Isaac Hayes, or more on the front man that he was playing behind. He got his groupies and stuff like that, but he could go in the mall and ain't got to worry about nobody bothering him, because they wouldn't know who he was unless he told them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I want now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of glad that fame didn't get out of hand, because with this social media and world star hip hop, man, it becomes dangerous to be a public figure, because people want to holler world star and knock your ass out and put it on world star just so they can get famous now. And when it gets like that, it gets dangerous, man.
Well, that's why Eminem's such a depressed out motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, people think they want that life, but they really don't want all that, man. Because sometimes you just want to be you. I don't feel like talking about Gangsta Pat shit every day. Sometimes I just want to be Patrick Hall and go to the mall and have a corn dog or some shit and just relax and kick back and watch the women walk by. Right. And then here you got some motherfucker talking about, hey, man, I rap, my cousin rap, man, holler at us, fuck with us, man. All that, man. You get tired of that shit, man.
Yeah, especially the older you get, the more you realize the priorities. Keep your priorities straight, man. Sometimes it's best to keep it simple,
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I'm kind of good. I'm glad when I'm where I'm at, man. Everybody don't know me, but enough people do know me in case if I ever want to pop my collar one day. Hey, man, you know who I? If I want to do that, I can. And it still won't get out of hand, So right. I'm kind of happy where I am as far as that, man. I can kind of play with it how I want. I can control it. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like our show in a way. Like a lot of people will comment like, you guys are topics, because we do our stuff, our own stuff just for fun as a hobby.
Yeah, you might meet our troll at some point, by the way.
And it's like so we don't give a shit. We just have fun, and that's the whole point. And it's almost like the no pressure. Like there's no need, because the realization is, you look at all these people who are famous, they're all fucked up, man. They have, and they're told all the time how great they are. They have distorted views of themselves, and it's like, it's kind of scary. It's like psychological or some shit like that. So,
yeah, I mean, you don't know who's real anymore when you got that popularity, because everybody got their nose up your ass. You don't know who real, man. You look at people like, just say Mike Tyson, for instance. Hell, he probably got one friend now, because at the prime of his career, man, everybody was trying to get a piece of him. And most of the people that was coming around him wasn't genuine, no way. You know what I'm saying? So, hell, he's probably in a better place now that his hype done died down, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we all living life, man. And one thing about life, everybody wants somebody to be genuine with them, man. There's nothing like having a person that's genuine around you. But when you got all them fake snakes around you, you don't know what's what, man. You can really lose yourself.
Yeah, you start becoming the fake snake to deal with the fake snakes. So you start becoming you try to start becoming what you're trying to avoid to deal with those people.
Kind of turn it into
exactly.
So that's the life lesson brought about by this interview, folks. Just to be happy with what you have. Hell, you're breathing, you're happy. You got you got plumbing, which 90% of the world doesn't have. So
everybody shits outside. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what you can take away. Is that, but that doesn't mean you still can't create and still can't let people enjoy your stuff. So we're gonna wrap this up with the song from the Black Haven EP from last year.
From Black Haven.
Yeah, it's the Smoke Up a Pound. Is that
you know what though? Before we jump into that, real quick, is you got any website or Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry about that. Thank you, Max.
No problem.
I'm on social media a little bit. I try not to get too wrapped up in that, man. But I mean, I'm about to kind of redo my YouTube channel and post more videos, man. So I would say just look out for the YouTube channel, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about about to do some new stuff, man. I just bought a lot of camera equipment and a lot of lights and all that good shit, and editing systems and shit. So, you know, I'm about to have some fun with that, man. So just look out for that Gangsta Pat YouTube channel, man.
Cool. We'll get you. We'll put that link down below, so check that out. And also, I would definitely check out the biography on that. I believe you do. It's autobiography. Basically, you do the voiceover for the whole thing, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I did. I did that in my bedroom on a laptop, man. You know, because I was calling around trying to interview people, and there wasn't nobody taking me serious, man. Okay, yeah, man, just holler at me later. We'll do it. But I actually I can't depend on other people to come interview, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it as a format, so I can show them that I'm serious about it, man. So once I did it, I just decided to post it. You know, I didn't really think too many people was gonna check it out, but hell, it's got over 30,000 views, man, and people be coming to me like, man, I see your story, man, it's a great story. So I was surprised, like, wow, man, you actually sat down and watched all 3 parts.
Oh,
it was like, yeah, so yeah, eventually I'm gonna redo it, you know, the right way, you know, get a real film crew and come in and redo it, man. And but for what it is, man, hey, it did what I didn't expect it to do, you know, and that's actually give people a vision of my story, you know.
And you had a real story. You know, a lot of people think they should write a book and all this and that, but they really don't have shit to talk about. But in this case, you really did have a really good story, man, that kept you wrapped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I've been through a lot. I'm just blessed to still be in the right frame of mind, still have my legs and my arms, man, no bullet wounds. Really, you know what I'm saying, that really changed, you know, my physical abilities. So, you know, I'm blessed, man. I can't complain, man.
Well, the fact, dude, you were shot in the head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
It is, man. It's a miracle, man. Them paramedics was like, man, you must got an angel in your pocket, man, because most people, they get hit like I did, you know what I'm saying, they can't figure out what slowed the bullet down because it didn't actually go all the way through. The bullet was like, it was sitting right, you know what I'm saying, right at my skull, man, and it didn't really fracture nothing. It just broke my skin and, you know, all that shit, but they couldn't figure out.
From being young and stubborn, that's the problem, right? Maybe he's had a hard head from being
pretty much. Pretty much, man. Pretty much. You know, we have to live and learn, man. You know.
Yep, that's all that's all we can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, man, we just want to say thanks for taking time to do this with us, man. This has been great.
Oh man, no problem, man. You know, we've been talking about this, Max, for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad we finally did it, man, you know, for sure.
Absolutely. So thank you once again. Once again, it's Gangster Pat. This song is Smoke Up a Pound. And I guess we're rolling out. So this is the Nothing Sacred interview. I'm Cruise Control.
I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And that's the story there, bitches. We'll see you later. Nothing Sacred interview. Gangster Pat, Smoke Up a Pound.
I'm so high off that kush, I feel like I'm about to float up in the clouds and spread my wings. Things be looking so beautiful when I be smoking it loud. Eyes red, so many thoughts in my head. I'm off in another world. That Mary Jane be digging so deep in my brain. She like my other girl, I guess she got her hooks in me. I can't go a day without blowing them trees. Hydrochronic leaves be breaking me down to my knees. Give me a bag of that sticky with no seeds, and I'm straight for the night. I gotta give me a cigar. Guess who's gonna be my day for the night? Dim them lights and light the end of that weed. We finna get high as a mink coat. I like to watch how the smoke floats up to the sky. Don't ask me why. I guess I be tripping sometime. The weed be just that fine. I'm always in search of the kush man, and whoever got it, then that's my guy. Loud smelling, ain't no telling how many blunts I'ma smoke. I'm inhaling, ain't no telling how many times I'ma choke. I'm rolling them back to back. Y'all know how we get down, and if you ready to come around,
I'll be smoking on a pound of that sticky. You can come around and smoke it with me. I'll be smoking on a pound of that sticky. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm waking up every morning morning with my eyes open halfway. That kush be calling my name, it's got me rambling through my ashtray. Fiending for that green, I mean I'm trembling if I don't give me a hit. I'm rolling the thick, nothing but big buzz. They so big, they wanna get fit in the cigar, nigga. I'm finna light up and blow clouds of smoke in the air. I'm always fiending, I know I smoke too much, but I really don't care. I got to have it in my system, it's my IV. And if it ain't that kush, then I'm allergic like poison ivy. And I beat, busting them switches down the middle with these. Then I fill it with trees, light up the acid and inhale, and then I release the smoke. It's constantly making me choke, I gotta catch my breath. I feel like I'm falling back to the earth and I gotta catch myself. I'm rolling as tight as I can, man, I wish you can hit this. Pulling out another switch so sweet, I'm about ready to split this. And I fill it with kush, light it up, hit it and pass it around. You know where I can be found.
I'll be smoking on a pound of that sticky. You can come around and smoke it with me. I'll be smoking on a pound of that sticky. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm so high off that kush, I feel like I'm about to float up in the clouds and spread my wings. Things be looking so beautiful when I be smoking it loud. Eyes red, so many thoughts in my head. I'm off in another world. That Mary Jane be digging so deep in my brain. She like my other girl, I guess she got her hooks in me. I can't go a day without blowing them trees. Hydrochronic leaves be breaking me down to my knees. Give me a bag of that sticky with no seeds, and I'm straight for the night. I gotta give me a cigar. Guess who's gonna be my day for the night? Dim them lights and light the end of that weed. We finna get high as a mink coat. I like to watch how the smoke floats up to the sky, don't ask me why. I guess I be tripping sometime, the weed be just that fine. I'm always in search of the kush man, and whoever got it, then that's my guy. Loud smelling, ain't no telling how many blunts I'ma smoke. I'm inhaling, ain't no telling how many times I'ma choke. I'm rolling them back to back, y'all know how we get down. And if you ready to come around,
I'll be smoking on a pound of that sticky. You can come around and smoke it with me. I'll be smoking on a pound of that sticky. Yeah, 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 yeah.